Good morning, dear friends. It's the Brahm Muhurta and uh, to uh, deliver a lecture on the topic time and tenses. Time and tenses hold a special importance in the English language. Without uh, mentioning a proper time, an exact time, one cannot express himself correctly. Uh, if someone wants to say something that took place in the past, and if he uses uh, the primary auxiliary verbs of future tense or present tense, then you know obviously he won't be understood correctly. Thus, the knowledge of tenses is indispensable to speak correct English. My dear friends, uh, the word tense means time. Uh, I think I should describe all this in Hindi language, but let me continue a little more in the English language. So I said that tenses means time. In simple words, tense in topic tense. In the topic tense, we learn two things. First is time of action and state of action. Now, 90% of students are aware of the first usage of tense, that is time of action. Most of the students know that tense tells us only this thing, whether a sentence is in present or past or future. But actually, the most important function of the chapter tenses in the English grammar is to describe the state of action that majority of us, do not know. So, what I said is, tenses tell us two things. First, time of action and state of action. State of action holds a more important place than time of action. So, my emphasis will be to make the other usage intelligible to you. Right. So, everyone knows that there can be three times in which an action can take place, either present or past or future. And this time, or which part of speech has been given the responsibility to express time? Are they nouns? No. Are they pronouns? No. Are they adjectives? No. Are they adverbs? Not at all. Then they're verbs. Verbs have been given this responsibility to declare time of an action. So, before one goes through the chapter tenses, he must be well aware of uh, the topic verbs. So, generally, there are three kinds of verbs: primary auxiliary verbs, whom we also call the helping verbs. Then the other is main verb, or it's also called as lexical verb, and the third is modal auxiliary verbs. Right? So among these three, it's necessary to know the first two kinds of verbs, that are helping verbs and main verbs. Right? So in helping verbs we have, I think, 13 in number, like is, am, are, has, have. These 5 are used to express the present tense. Was, were, had, did. They are used to express the tense. And shall, will are used for future tense. Right. So everyone knows that there are 3 types of action. What's difficult to understand is the state of action. Even in the present tense, there can be 4 states of actions. Even in the past tense, there are 4 states of action. And even in the future tense, there are 4 states of actions. Now, what are these states of action? See, if you talk about the present tense, and if I say I teach English, so here I have used the first form of the verb teach, and first form generally indicates the present tense. So through this sentence, I express my profession or my habitual action or some universal truth. If I say I teach English, it means that this has been my profession and this work is done daily, right? So such sentences that express a universal truth or habitual action or somebody's profession or occupation or any work that is done daily are called as sentences in the present tense, and with present indefinite or simple present state of action. If we move on to the next state of action in the present tense, it's a work that's going on, like I'm recording, or you are listening to me, or you are watching this video, or my son is sleeping, or the fan is running, or my father is walking, or my mother is praying, or birds are chirping. The works that are going on at the present moment, just now. So such sentences have been given the name of present continuous tense, since the work goes on. And to express sentences in this time, in this state of action, we use the helping verbs is, am, are after the subject, and then these helping verbs are followed by the ing form of a verb. So it's like I am teaching, you are listening, my son is sleeping. Got it? So on, the next state of action is something in which the work has been done. The work has been made perfect. It's over. Like, I have taken shower, or I have bathed, or I have brushed my teeth, or I have offered prayers, or I have made my bed, or I have taught, present continuous tense. So uh, the works that are finished or that are completed just now and they have some relation with the present are said to be in the present perfect tense, and they're expressed uh, with expressed by using has or have with the subject followed by the third form of a verb, like I have taught. Taught is the third form of teach. You have understood. Understood is the third form of understand. Or I have brushed my teeth. So brushed is the third form of brush. So such sentences are said to be in the present perfect tense. Let's move on. And then we have present perfect continuous tense. Such sentences express an action or a state of action that started in the past and continued till now. Continues till now. Like, I have been teaching you for 10 minutes, or I have been living in Gazipur for 20 years, or my son has been sleeping since 10 p.m. Got it? So here we use subject, then has or have, and then been. Been is the third form of the verb be, and again the ing form of verb follows been, and then we have since or for and the time. Now here I would like to clarify that the word since is used before the time that is fixed, point of time, like 1990 or 2nd of August or 11 a.m. last Monday, such. And for is used before time periods like 100 years, 12 months, 3 months, 4 weeks, 5 days, 10 hours, half an hour. That's all. So these were the 4 states of action in the present tense through which we express some work that are professions, or that are habitual actions, or the work that goes on while we speak, or some work that has been completed, or some work that that has been going on from a fixed time or some period. Right. Now these 4 states of action can also be in the past. Habits can be in the past. Some work might have been continuing in the past. Some work might have been done in the past. Some work might have been being done since or for some time, right? So what we do is we just change the helping verbs and the main verbs. Just change their change them into past tense. So the places where we use the first form of the verb, now we'll use the second form. The places where we used is, am, are, we'll use was or were. The places where we use has, have, we'll use had. That's all. So friends, I think I should have uh, told you this in Hindi. But let me finish. Well, let me complete the future tense. Then I'll describe the things in Hindi also. If you talk about future, tense. My companion. Sorry, I kept you wake. Right. So if you talk about the future tense, the four states of action are there as well, like future indefinite, future continuous, future perfect, and future perfect continuous. So the habits or the actions that would go on in future are said to be in future indefinite, like I shall live in California, or the I shall go to Mumbai. Right. So here I would like to differentiate will and shall. We use shall with the first person pronouns like I and we. With the rest of the subjects, whether it's second person or third person, we use will. So I shall, we shall, you will, he will, she will, it will, they will, John will, boys will, my father will, like that. And in future indefinite, we use the first form of the verb just after these modals shall and will. So I shall live in California. We have I and shall and the first form live and the rest of the word. If we talk about the future continuous tense, like tomorrow, when you enter my house, I shall be reading a newspaper. So this action will be in the future. This action will be going on in the future. Like I shall be reading a newspaper, or it will be raining tomorrow at 9 a.m. Or so here in future tense we use subject and again shall or will, and be, then ing form of the verb, and the rest of the words. Now we move on to the next tense, and that is future perfect tense. So a work becomes perfect, a work is completed, an action gets completed in future. So I would say I shall have finished tenses by 4 o'clock, or I shall have reached California by the evening. Such sentences. So here the rule goes like this. We have subject first, then the modals shall or will, then we have, and then the third form of the verb. And here let me remind you that we don't use the primary auxiliary verb has in future tense. In none of the states of actions we use have in future. Right. So subject, then shall or will, then have, and the third form of the verb. After that there are other words. Right. And if you talk about the future perfect continuous, we use subject, then we use shall or will, then we have. I beg for your pardon. For the rule for future perfect continuous goes like this: subject, shall or will, have, been, ing form of the verb, and since or for and the time. Like I shall have been living in California uh, from 2025, or uh, I shall have been teaching you uh, since morning tomorrow. Means a work will begin from some fixed time and it will go on further for a period of time, right? So this was about the future perfect continuous. My friends, it's going to be 4 o'clock in the morning. Before this video I recorded another video in Hindi, but my by having recorded for 40 minutes, my smartphone spontaneously, it got switched off and the video went off. Felt too sad. So I've told you about the tenses, the two uses of tenses. First, time of action, and second is state of action. Time of action are 3: present, past, future. States of action are 4: indefinite, that express habits; continuous, that express some continuing work; perfect, that has completed works; and perfect continuous, that shows something that goes on from a time and continues longer. So friends, one must have a sound knowledge of the different kinds of verbs to learn tenses, and then he can speak good English, or he can write good English. Just try to learn the helping verbs, their usage, and the three forms of the main verbs, and then you can hit the bull, right? So in this video I would like to tell you one good idea to learn how and where to use the different helping verbs, right? Most of the students, they get confused in choosing the suitable helping verb, like whether to use has or have, was, were, do or does. So it's very simple. Just make 2 columns. In one column, write down all the verbs that end with s, like is, was, has, does, right? In the other column, write the rest of the verbs. So I think one is intelligent. Even an ordinary student is intelligent enough to differentiate between is, am and are. He knows where to use is, am, are, right? Am is used with I, is used with the singular subjects, and are is used with the plural subjects, right? So wherever you can use is, if needed, you can use has there, or does there, or was there, or verb with s or es, right? So s, they come together, and the rest together. So if I say he is a boy, so in other sentence, if I need to use has or have, I'll not use have, but I'll use has, because he is a boy, is has s in the end. So now I'll use has, because has again has s in the end. So he is a boy, he has a car, he was late, he does not like cricket, does he? He and does. Why does? Because does has s and he takes is, so s should be used together. He is a boy, he has a car, he does not like cricket, he was late, he plays football, or he goes to temple daily, right? So helping verbs with is, with s at the end, come together, right? The rest separate. So if I say I am then not I has, I have, I do not watch movies, I play video games. So there is one exception for this mantra. I said that the subjects that take is with them should take all the helping verbs that end with s, right? So according to this rule, if I say I am, then if I need to use was or were with I, then I'll say I were, but no, it's an exception. I was. Though I doesn't take is with it, it will take was with it, right? So I am a teacher, I have a car, I, not were, I was happy, I teach English. Again here, teach, this is also an exception. You should not say I teaches English. I teach English, and I do not like movies. So I is an exception. Though I takes am with it, but it will take I was, I do, I have, I play. So this can be learned separately. Otherwise, with the rest of the subjects, use the same funda of s at the end. She is, she has, she does, she eats, she was, right? Okay then. So I think I must stop this video, and I feel disheartened today because the previous video was 40 or 45 minutes of duration, and it got switched off with the smartphone, this Realme. And okay then friends, so I wish you all a very happy day, and let me conclude this video with again a Sanskrit shloka, and that we Hindus ought to chant in the morning, looking at our palms. It's like this: Karagre vasate Lakshmi, Karmadhye Saraswati, Karmule sthito Brahma, Prabhate Kar Darshanam. Another variation: Karagre vasate Lakshmi, Karamadhye Saraswati, Karmule tu Govinda, Prabhate Kar Darshanam. So offering this prayer, we should instantly touch the ground where we are to plant our legs, and should pray to goddess earth with this mantra. Samudravasane Devi Parvatastana Mandale Jaganmatar Namastubhyam Padsparsh Chamaswame. It means, I may be wrong, but it's like, Samudravasane Devi Parvatastana Mandale means, oh deity earth, oh goddess earth, who are Samudravasane Devi, like the ocean, like the sea, Parvatastana Mandale, and whose bosom or breast are the mountains. Samudravasane Devi Parvatastana Mandale Jaganmatar Namastubhyam. O Mother of the whole universe, Padsparsh Chamaswame, I plant my feet on you, so please forgive me. Beg for your pardon for planting my feet on you. Then we do like this, and we move on to the other prayers of Lord Ganesha, Lord Shiva, or deity Durga, Lord Sun, Brahma, and Vishnu, and others, according to Hinduism. Okay friends, I wish you all a very happy day, and please go through this video and get this time and tense chapter clear. And if not with this, the next video will be in Hindi language about the same topic, time and tenses. So until then, bye. I love you all. Keep working, keep flowing, keep moving, because movement is life. Bye then.